Just think about those words for a second. An ancient legend captures one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking endings you'll ever hear. It's about a love that could only find its true freedom by becoming something else entirely. So that's the big question we're tackling today, isn't it? How does a story about two students from centuries ago become this massive cultural touchstone, a powerful symbol of love fighting against all the odds? Today, we're diving deep into the legend of the butterfly lovers. This is a tale that's been told and retold for more than 1,000 years. And, every time it finds a new way to break your heart and then give you hope all over again. Okay, so our guide on this amazing journey is Wilt Idema's fantastic scholarly work, The Butterfly Lovers. And just so you know, this isn't just a simple retelling. No, this is a serious deep dive. Idema compares 4 key versions of the legend to piece together how this incredible romance actually evolved through time. So where does a story like this even begin? Well, it's not with a glance across a crowded room. Nope. It starts in the quiet halls of an academy, where a love was hiding in plain sight. So let's meet our heroine, Zhu Yingtai. She is brilliant, she's determined, and she's born into a world where women are absolutely forbidden from getting an education. So what does she do? She does the unthinkable. She disguises herself as a young man and gets herself into a prestigious school. And you have to understand just how huge this was. Idema's research really puts it in perspective. This wasn't just some clever trick. In imperial China, the sexes were kept completely separate. Education was the one and only path to power, and it was a world for men, period. So her disguise, it tapped into this powerful cultural fantasy of female empowerment. She was a hero long before she was ever a romantic lead. And it's at the academy where she meets Liang Shanbo. He doesn't see a woman in disguise. He just sees a brilliant, dedicated scholar, a real kindred spirit. For 3 whole years, they're inseparable. They share books, they share dreams, they share this deep intellectual bond. It's a pure connection between 2 souls. But it's all built on a secret that just can't last forever. But, those perfect academy years, they couldn't last forever. The time eventually comes for Zhu Yingtai to go home. And this is where the story really takes a turn, right toward its tragic heart. So, before they part ways, Zhu kind of hints at who she really is, promising to have her sister marry Liang. Later, when Liang visits her home and the truth finally comes out, can you imagine that moment? The joy is just overwhelming, but it lasts for maybe a second because reality comes crashing down. Zhu's father has already arranged for her to be married to some wealthy official's son. And this right here, this is the central conflict. On one side, you've got this incredible love born from 3 years of true friendship and respect. And on the other, you have the crushing, unbearable weight of family duty and what society expects. For a daughter back then, this wasn't really a choice. It was an absolute obligation. The news just completely destroys Liang Shanbo. It shatters him. He gets sick, and not long after, he literally dies of a broken heart. His death is the story's ultimate tragedy. It shows just how powerful their love was, that being denied it was fatal. His grave becomes this stark, lonely monument to what happens when society's rigid rules win. But here's the thing. This is where the legend truly takes flight. The story doesn't just end in the cold, hard reality of a grave. No, it transforms into something absolutely beautiful and eternal. This is the magical moment that has cemented this story in the hearts of millions. It's what elevates the tale from just another tragedy to a myth about the power of love to overcome everything, even death itself. Just try to picture it. It's her wedding day, the day she's supposed to marry someone else. Her procession is passing by Liang's tomb when a wild storm suddenly kicks up, forcing everyone to stop. Zhu runs to the grave, crying, begging for it to open up for her. The sky cracks with a massive clap of thunder, the earth splits apart, and she leaps inside. The tomb seals shut behind her, the storm stops, and from the grave, 2 butterflies emerge, just dancing in the air, together and finally free. So what's the big takeaway for us today? Well, it's this powerful lesson that's kept the story alive for centuries. It asks us to look at the artificial boundaries in our own lives. The expectations from society, from family, even the ones we put on ourselves, and to find the courage to go after a real, authentic connection, to have our own butterfly moment. All right, let's pull back from this absolutely beautiful story for just a second and take a look at Wilt Idema's scholarly take on the book that gave us all these insights. Look, Idema's book is an absolute masterpiece of scholarship, no question about it. Its real strength is its incredible depth. By comparing different versions, it shows us how China's views on gender, love, and duty changed over time. But that's also its biggest challenge. The language is pretty academic, and remember, it's an analysis of the story, not the story itself. So it's really built for academics, not so much for a casual reader who just wants a beautiful love story. So, with all that in mind, we're giving the book a final grade of 7.8 out of 10. And here's why. The content quality? A stellar 9 out of 10. The depth is just unparalleled. But its practical application for a general audience? That gets a 6, because you really have to work to pull out the lessons. And writing clarity gets a 7. It's clear, for sure, but it is dense. It's a scholarly treasure, definitely, just one that's not the easiest to unlock for everyone. So if this story of defiant love has captured your imagination like it has mine, well, the good news is the journey doesn't have to stop here. If you want to go even deeper, you've got to check out Sukja Cho's Transforming Gender and Emotion. It gives this amazing cross-cultural look at the legend. And if you're looking for another story about a powerful, cross-dressing heroine, you should definitely find the 18th century epic Karmic Bonds of Reincarnation. So what's next for you? Well, if you're an academic, Idema's book is the perfect place to start. If you're a general reader, maybe find a narrative version first, and then come back to Idema for all that rich context. And for every single one of us, the legend leaves us with a question to think about. What boundaries in your own life are just waiting for their butterfly moment? Stories like The Butterfly Lovers remind us that love can, quite literally, transform the world. If you want to explore more tales that challenge tradition and celebrate the human spirit, make sure you follow and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining me.